And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Wednesday, December 21st. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello everybody and welcome a Wednesday morning, and we're glad to have you with us. We're glad to have Bob McDonald actually on the telephone this morning to talk about Cedarstone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson, simple banking, simply better. Bob, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. It's great to be with you and hear your voice. And sorry I can't be there with you live and in person. This is a busy week. It's hard to fit everything in. So I appreciate you and MJ and Billy allowing me to call in when it's necessary.
We're happy for you to do that. And what's on your mind this morning?
Oh, well, it's been a busy month, and you and I have talked some these last few weeks about how we're closing out the year, and we had our last board of directors meeting at the bank yesterday afternoon, and the meeting went well as we looked back on the year and prepared for the new year. We put together or confirmed up our business plan for 2023. So we've had a really good year this year, Coleman, and we expect another good year next year. So we're very thankful for being able to serve our customers and serve the community. And we thankful about being with you every Wednesday morning.
Well, we certainly look forward to talking to you each Wednesday and always hear the good words from Cedarstone. But, of course...
Hey, before we forget, let me talk about our holiday hours.
Yes, okay.
We will, this Friday, we will close at 4 o'clock. You know, normally on Fridays we close at 6, but we'll be closing at 4 o'clock this Friday. We'll be closed Saturday, and we'll be closed Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So that's quite a different, just the way the holiday season fell this year. So again, closing at 4 o'clock this Friday, closed Saturday, and closed Monday, and then back open regular hours on Tuesday. Now, we've got to keep an eye on the weather later this week. As you know, they're calling for some sleet and some snow Thursday night, Friday morning. So hard to know at this point if that will impact our hours. But whenever we have that type of situation, we always get our hours noted on our website and on our phone system. So. Mm-hmm. So I might just say to your listeners who bank with us to keep an eye on the weather. If they have any questions, they can always look on our website or call, and we'll have it recorded.
Right. The way it's looking right now, there is a possibility that Friday's hours might be curtailed some more, depending on how much snow we get, how adverse traveling is, and that sort of thing. And by the way, I think we should just remind everybody, so that you don't have to be taken unawares, go ahead and do your business today and tomorrow, and then you wouldn't have to worry too much about Friday. And while you're at it, go ahead and buy those Lions Club pecans ahead of time.
Oh, man. Showing that 50 years of radio experience right there. That's a nice slide right there for the pecans. No, you're exactly correct. Whenever we have altered hours, like on a Friday, we always get the word out early to our customers, especially those who we see, in this case, later in the afternoon. So we make sure that we let folks know so they can make their plans and perhaps come in a little bit earlier. And, of course, Coleman, you can access, you can always do banking online. You can go online and make payments and move money around from account to account. If folks are ever out and they need cash, we have our ATMs. You can go, you can take our debit cards, and if you go to, say, Kroger or Publix and you make your payment for whatever you're buying, you can always get some cash back.
Uh-huh.
So there's multiple ways to access cash whenever a bank is not open.
Well, one of the things, I bet one of the biggest things that's happened since you opened is the electronic banking and the advancement of it. That would have to be one of the biggest differences from now and what it was how many ever years ago when you started, Bob.
Oh, you're right. It is amazing how quickly it's not only come to be as a way to deliver banking services, but how how quickly it changes and how quickly it improves from year to year. And we've got a really great electronic banking program, Coleman. Our website and our electronic banking is second to none. So it's another reason for folks, your listeners who don't bank with us, is to come talk to us and let us demonstrate how easy it is to get online and to do your banking. Which brings up one more thing before we wrap up and talk about checking account. But we're seeing a lot of attempted fraudulent transactions, Coleman.
Uh-huh.
And we talk about this on our website about how you just be careful. Our customers are getting phone calls from people, posing as some kind of a payment service or something, trying to get their credit card numbers and that type of thing. So I encourage your listeners just to be careful and do not give out anything over the telephone, because there's all kinds of fraudulent efforts underway right now. We see an increase this time of year every year, Coleman. So I encourage your folks, wherever they bank, just to be careful, be mindful, be diligent, and don't give out any information over the telephone, or don't respond to emails that don't look normal.
Good advice. Good advice. And just real quickly, the free checking account at Cedarstone?
That's right, Coleman. We've been very busy with it this year, and we're very thankful. It is completely free. It's free online banking with bill pay, free checks if you still want to write checks. And so we encourage your listeners to come talk to us and let us talk about how simple it is to do banking at Cedarstone.
And it is really free.
It is really free.
Bob, thanks so much. Have a great one. We'll do it again next Wednesday.
Thanks, Coleman. Merry Christmas to you, my friend, okay?
All right. Bob McDonald, he is President, CEO, Cedarstone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson. Simple banking, simply better. 11 after the hour, and this is the Wednesday we feature Mark Hinesley with the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce, who is with us this morning, live in studio, and still making notes of what he wants to talk about.
That's my after-lunch to-do list right there. Good morning, Coleman.
Good morning.
Brought my guest with me this morning, our 2022 Chamber Board Chairman of the Board, Gerard Bullock. He's with us, and he's been very faithful about joining us each month. And I'm not sure if he's knows it or not, but he's only got about 2 weeks, and then he's immediate past chair, and that's a highly sought-after position, by the way. Good morning, Gerard.
Gerard, yeah, good morning. Welcome again.
Good morning, Coleman. Good morning, Mark.
Good to see you.
Yeah, great to be here again. Like Mark said, yeah, I do know there's a couple days left, and just this is probably the last time really we're together before the end of the year as chair. But I'll be there as past chair next year, hanging out. I had a great year with everybody. It was amazing. So,
Right. Well, what's on your mind this morning?
Well, I'd like to, I know before the break, I think I have enough time. I want to certainly thank Gerard for serving as the board chair this year. And it's a voluntary position, and they share their time and their talents and their treasures with us and pour everything they got into it for a year. And he's been at it every single day on top of his own business and his wife's business and 4 kids on 2 different coasts. And he's made quite a sacrifice, and we're grateful for that. And it's always nice to know that you leave things a little better than when you found them, and he has certainly done that.
But sometimes that call is there. You just answer it, like you have done.
absolutely, and it's a great community. Mark and the chamber has been here for me and my family since the day we got here to Middle Tennessee to Mount Juliet. So I just feel great to be able to serve any way I can. So.
We had our final board meeting of the year last Thursday, and we have 3 board members that are rolling off, and this is kind of tough, but Rob Porter, Civil Site Design Group, he's been on the board for 12 years. There was a year break in there, but Danielle Druick, Gammon and Druick CPA, she's been our CFO and voluntary board treasurer for 9 years, and Lisa Tucker, everyone knows Lisa, owns Aquabella, and she's been in real estate. She's been cutting hair, I think, for 40 years and nearly that long in real estate, and she rolled off with 12 years as well. 33 years experience gone right after breakfast last Thursday.
So got a little vacuum.
Yeah, a little bit, but big shoes to fill. But Well, I'm excited to announce that Amanda Oakes, she owns the Learning Experience on Belinda Parkway. Trey Geisenhofer, he's many years with Wilson Bank and Trust, and he's now on North Mount Julie Road. Lauren Thomas, who owns Prism Technology, he's an IT, he's homegrown, born, raised, graduate high school right here in Wilson County. And Roger White, operations with Rackley Roofing. And Rackley has a huge commitment to all of Wilson County, really. And we'll be seeing a little bit more of them on June 25th out at the big oval track. Mm-hmm. So they're a major sponsor. But they've all agreed to share their selves for 3 years. They started a new term January 1st. And your guest yesterday, you didn't take call-ins, which that's okay, I wouldn't either. But Tracy Pope, she's going to be spending some more time out here because she'll be the 2023 chairperson of the board for the chamber. And excited to announce that following her in 24 will be Julie Rooswald. She owns the Basement Marketplace up on Lebanon Road. And I knew years ago there was going to be a spot for her somewhere, somehow, because she was the first person I'd ever met that was the PTO president for a high school and middle school at the same time. And I thought, now there's somebody that's got their act together. So excited about the future, and we'll talk more about that when we roll into the new year.
Okay, it is time for a break. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:16. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford, lifetime brake pad guarantee. With the purchase of a brake service, replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as the customer owns a vehicle. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic volume increasing now finally on 24 westbound and through the Hickory Hollow area. You got some of that traffic coming in from Rutherford County out of Murfreesboro right now, down through Wilson County. In pretty good shape with the exception of some radar. Quite a bit of it actually earlier on I-40 through Mount Juliet. Out in Smith County, we saw some as well. Give yourself extra time through those counties. Nash Painting Services, all of Middle Tennessee. If you want it done right the first time, and I'm sure you do, check out these guys, nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The WANT and WCOR radio crew wants to thank each of you for listening, advertising, and being a guest on our talk show. We look forward to many more years of being Wilson County's own radio. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Just in time for Christmas, the Titans host the Houston Texans this Saturday at Nissan Stadium. It's a Christmas Eve affair with Titans and Texans. Titans Countdown starts at 11. That kickoff is at noon.
Brought to you by Fakes and Hooker, Bates Ford, Steve Mall Plumbing, The Jewelers, and the City of Lebanon Gas in Tennessee. 811, call before you dig.
This is Wilson County's home for real country music and the Tennessee Titans. Real Country 98.9.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. Mark Hinsley's with us from the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce, along with Gerard Bullock, and you are outgoing chairman.
Yes, sir, outgoing. And Tracy Pope and Julie Rooswald, like Mark said, will be leading the charge. I mean, they actually have been so instrumental in everything that is done daily in the chamber. And if you think that the chamber's in great shape now, wait until next year. Wait till Tracy and Julie are sitting in the front of the room.
Those two together, I'm gonna have to buy me some new running shoes next year, I think.
Oh, they're gonna set a fire under you, huh?
You know, they love the chamber. They love people. They love business. They love Wilson County and Mount Juliet, and I couldn't be happier. I know their families at least a little bit, and I'm just excited to go to work every day and say, "Hey, boss," to somebody that I have respect for.
What else you got notes about this morning?
Well, you know, since our last time together, had a few Christmas parades in Wilson County, and that was a little something unusual coming from the north when there's usually snow on the ground. got introduced to this thing called a Christmas parade. And when I moved here 35 years ago, I was actually working on Broadway Street. So that was interesting. But Wilson County pulled off 3 Christmas parades since our last talk. And I want to put a plug in, and there are so many people, so I won't even really name names, but I had the opportunity a week ago, Sunday afternoon, to go to the ribbon cutting at the new Stoner Creek Elementary School. And ribbon cuttings, there's a lot of them, and we want to celebrate reinvestment, new investment, remodeling, new stores, whatever. But new school, that was less than 3 years. We still have houses across the street from the tornado that haven't been repaired, and they managed to somehow get this school built. And I remember in the early days after the tornado, we'll be clearing ground in 6 weeks, and we'll start building in July or August or whatever, and whoa, it didn't exactly go like that. But those kids, parents, teachers, faculty, the administration, it's unimaginable what they really had to go through and how disruptive their lives would have been or were just with the school. But then throw the pandemic on, and you got some of the most resilient people that I've ever seen. Commitment from that project manager who put a travel trailer on the site and lived right there and has since moved that travel trailer up to the other school. That was a great event for Wilson County, and I thought District Director Luttrell, Mayor Hutto, the school board chairman, Jamie, and did a very eloquent job. And I left after hearing Amanda, the principal. I'd never met her before. Those folks in that school are in good hands. So to everybody that had a hand in bringing a new school online, thank you. And we also wrapped up TN Community. That's a kind of a major undertaking. Many, many, many moving parts on that, and want to thank everybody that supported that either by funding it or shopping it, and for the businesses that participated.
Well, I know you have your finger on the pulse, especially to the west, but I think over the whole county. But how has December looked? You no doubt have talked to a few people.
Well, it's
business good.
I think so. Traffic is good. If everybody in a car buys something, it could be a record year. But there's not a day goes by that there aren't challenges facing our small businesses. It's more and more and more convenient to shop online, go in, touch it, feel it, and then go home and buy it and save 55 cents or something. But I always get excited about the middle of the month to see the sales tax collections for Wilson County, Mount Juliet. And so far, they're trending in the right direction. Holiday sales are up overall nationwide, so I have no reason to think that Mount Juliet and Wilson County aren't going to see increased sales as well. Unfortunately, some of that sales tax increase is due to significantly higher prices on the product you're buying. 9.5% or 9.75% on $10 is more than that same percent on $5. So
that probably does have a lot to do with it.
Well, I look forward to opening a new Cadillac dealership shortly after the first of the year. Nelson Andrews project's going along real well, and anytime you can keep people in Wilson County buying cars, that's a good thing.
Anything you want to say about that?
No, so like Mark was saying, just shop local, and it is tough. Right now labor market's a little tough, and just to get good people in there, and just got to make it part of your business plan. And I know in the county there are a lot of talks of economic development and workforce development kind of joining hands, and that's going to be a great thing for the county. But I had the pleasure of sitting down with Mr. Andrews too with Andrews Cadillac, and it's going to be beautiful, and it is a great thing to pay sales tax on a vehicle like that to help bring revenue to the city. But I mean, in the last report though, it was Mark. Remember, it was more retailers that were contributing to those top sales tax numbers, and it wasn't car dealerships, which is good. It means people are out getting out and spending their money locally.
Yeah, for a long time, John Deere was one of our largest sales tax collectors, and if I'm not mistaken, G.C. Hickson, in one of his final programs, I think he indicated that T.J. Maxx and Home Goods were in the top 2 or 3, if not the top number 1 sales tax collector in Mount Juliet. And of course, they've got that checkout system figured out pretty darn good. So that register never stops ringing out there.
Well, one of the things, I mean, I just I do not like to buy online. I like
Good.
the interaction, you and a merchant or whatever, and if it doesn't fit, you can take it back. You don't have to mail it back or whatever. I don't even know. I don't do Amazon.
Well, you know, I feel sort of the same way, whether it's going into a bank, a store, a restaurant. When the shop owner or teller can call you by name and ask you, you know, how's things going.
Yeah, that personal touch. You don't get that on a computer.
No, it's I'm lucky that I get socially stimulated every single day. It's one after the other, but I enjoy that much more than just being tied behind a computer. And I'm sure there's times that it saves a lot. And you know, if you're going to buy it from a local store and you buy it off of their website, that's okay.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
just
sure.
You know, remember the ones that have the banners in the outfield fences of our Little League parks. Let's shop there first. So, you know, just a couple quick things.
Okay.
Had the opportunity last Friday to go to the ribbon cutting at the new Cedar Creek Greenway, and we can be the first ones to point out the weaknesses of government at times, but I have to tell you, they got this right. It's a fabulous addition to Wilson County. Right there, park at Charlie Daniels Park, tremendous access, new bridge over the Cedar Creek. I believe it's a mile long, takes you all the way over to the soccer fields at Tuscan Gardens. So those are little things that are quality of life and maybe a way to get kids outside instead of staring at a computer screen or whatever. But they did a really nice job on that. And I know it was a state, maybe, I don't know if there was federal grant money, but the city put in a bunch of money, and the public works crew did an outstanding job. And I want to take just a second. Last week, I heard Rusty Richardson, and I believe Katie Wolf were on the show. And Katie's very involved with our leading women and doing awesome for us. Her and Courtney Wheeler are around a lot. But I was very impressed with Rusty's remarks about everything that Cumberland accomplished in 2022. That's a remarkable story right there, and I'm glad they got somebody like him to tell that story. And was excited to see when graduates from high schools on the west end of the county, their parents are so excited because they just got accepted to Cumberland University, and I'm excited for what they have going on, and they're not going to stop. But congratulations, everybody. And do I have time for one more quick thing? And then we'll let Gerard close us out.
2 or 3 minutes.
I had the opportunity a couple weeks ago to meet with Tom Nelson's wife, Liz Nelson, came by the office. And I don't know too much, and I don't want to spoil anything, but every once in a while you say, oh, now that's a great idea. She is starting, her and their other folks, she's the only one I've had the opportunity to meet so far, called 100 Women Who Care. And I don't know if anybody's been on to talk about that or not. They have? Okay,
yes.
Well, I won't double up. But to everybody that's listening.
Well, Nicole Bell has initiated it here.
Okay, I haven't met anybody that, she's the only one that's been in my office. But, boy, that just sort of resonated with me. Time is precious. You don't have time to go to meetings and all that. They raise the money and give it to charity right here. I think that can have a tremendous impact, and I see that nonprofit going from 0 to 60 in about the first meeting. Very impressed.
Fortunately, we are affluent enough that there are enough people who can join together like that and really make an impact. And like it was pointed out, 100 people giving $100 is a lot more than one giving.
That's right. And, you know, there are a lot of people that kind of, you know, hey, come over for dinner sometime. Okay, we will. Well, that's never going to happen. But, hey, Friday night, you bring the hot dogs. We're making it happen. And they are very point. $100. You can come to the meeting. If you don't want to, we're going to pick a charity and you'll have some say-so in it. And we're going to help people and make a difference. And I think that's fantastic. I'm excited about what they're going to be able to do It's hard to get my wife to part with $100, I can tell you that. But it took her about 30 seconds to say, I'm in.
Yeah.
And I saw the list last night, and I think they're north of 60 already. So if you're listening and want to be a part of that, call the chamber, call Nicole, Liz, somebody. We'll help you out. But I just think that's new money. Nobody that does that's going to say, well, I'm not going to give to something else. So to
Right.
everybody that's working on that, thank you very much.
Gerard, it's nice to have you with us today. Appreciate the good year you've had and your contributions. Going to take it a little bit easier maybe, but any parting thoughts this morning?
Yeah, just thanks to the new 150 plus members we got at the chamber. We got a great banquet coming up scheduled for February the 3rd, year-end celebration and awards banquet. And we got a new young professionals program that we got rolling out pretty soon. But really, I just want to say thanks to everybody. Thanks for allowing me to serve the chamber. And thank you, Mark. And just really have a great year. Tracy, Julie, the chamber's in great hands. They're going to run with it. And just thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks for allowing me to serve.
Well,
Gerard, you're still on the board.
I'm not going anywhere.
There was no gold watch this morning, so thank you. I know what it takes.
Well, thanks for being with us today. We appreciate it. And Mark, good to see you. We'll see you in January.
To you and your team, Merry Christmas,
All right.
everybody.
That is part one of Coleman and Company. Keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And it's 7:29. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota. Write it off the lot. Write it off your taxes. Visit Absolute Kubota. Take advantage of the Section 179 tax deduction when you buy new Kubota construction equipment, tractors, RTVs, hay tools, and turf products. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. They're working a wreck just outside of Clarksville right now on 24 eastbound around the 8-mile marker. Again, that's 24 eastbound leaving Montgomery County headed towards Nashville. That's got traffic a little bit slow. Busy, but moving. I-40 through Mount Juliet. Lots of radar through Wilson County and Dixon County this morning. Nash Painting services all of Middle Tennessee. Check them out online, nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
This is Bob McDonald with Cedarstone Bank. For 17 years now, we've been serving our communities in Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Donaldson. We can serve you in the way that best fits your needs. We have all the banking technology, we have beautiful buildings, but more importantly, we have great people. On behalf of our board of directors, I thank you for banking with us. If you don't currently bank with us, please come by and visit us in any of our locations. It would be our pleasure to talk with you about how simple banking is simply better.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. We all like to save money, and State Farm can help with discounts. When you combine your car insurance with State Farm homeowner insurance, you get big savings. So talk to me, Jeff Gannon, in Lebanon or Mount Juliet. State Farm Good Neighbor Service that has made us America's #1 insurance company. Together, we can help you make sure you get the discounts you deserve and the coverage you need. Come see me, Jeff Gannon, in Lebanon or Mount Juliet, and find out why more homeowners and drivers trust State Farm than any other insurance company.
One more day of mild December weather before that major cold snap and some snow arrive. Today brings a high of 52, falling to 41 degrees overnight. The rain starts on Thursday, turning over to snow in the evening, with temperatures dropping into the single digits. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm number one Ned.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part two. Here on a Wednesday morning, time for us to talk about Herc Rentals, and Dave Hurst is with us. He is the assistant branch manager there at 1325 West Main Street here in Lebanon. And we always remind you the phone number is 615-443-RENT. And of course, Herc Rentals for equipment and tool rental, and you're right in the middle of all of it, right?
That's correct, yep.
Well, what you got for us today?
Oh, well.
You still got propane.
Interesting enough, we actually almost ran out yesterday, but about 4 o'clock we got another fill up. So, I'm pretty proud of the fact that we have a great relationship with our vendors. And so we made a phone call. They were able to get us back and filled up. But yeah, if you're needing propane, now's the time to get it. There was a line there when I left. So I imagine there'll be a line when I get back. So if you need it, this morning. Yeah, if you need it, we got it. So.
Well, we'll help you run out. But a word to the wise, if you're going to need it. The weather looks a little frightening for Friday and Saturday. Let's face it.
Right.
And you want to be prepared if you can.
Right.
And you're going to be there to help them as long as it lasts.
Yep, we'll be there Monday through Friday, 7 to 5. We'll be there. So, yeah.
Yep.
Well, how's the rentals going right now? Yours is a lot of it is a seasonal thing.
It is.
And we've talked about the lifts. I don't know whether you're still needing them or not, but if they do, you have them.
Yeah, so right now we're probably concentrating more. A lot of our stuff on the homeowner side has slowed down, which is to be expected. Like you said, it's seasonal. So what we're seeing now is a lot of the bigger stuff going out, some of the bigger commercial jobs. So that seems to be staying pretty steady right now. Of course, we always say after Thanksgiving, between New Year's, it does slow down a little bit. But come January 2nd, there's some big projects going on that, we're just going to be going all out. So,
well, we try to keep reminding people of your website because it may be even more important now than ever before, hercrentals.com, because not only can you find out all that you have to rent, but you can actually do your business right there on the internet now.
That is correct. And one of the things they're also rolling out as well for if you have a business account with us where you have more control of your account, you can pay your bills online, you can even track your equipment online. They've even gotten sophisticated to the point where if you're a pretty big company, you can actually authorize different users on different pieces of equipment. So it's definitely technology is definitely growing on our side. So.
Well, all of that really, from what I understand, is different since HERC has taken over. So that wasn't available before. That's quite a convenience for some business, I would think.
It is, yeah. So you can actually see how many hours your machine has run. You can see what your machine is doing. You can authorize codes to different users, so you can see who's been using the machine, who hasn't been. So, yeah, a lot of different unique features will be rolling out here in 23.
Okay, and as far as your holiday hours, you'll be there till 5 o'clock this Friday, or at least you're planning to.
That we're planning to. That may change based on the weather.
Yeah.
I did get a call from our area manager saying, hey, just prepared, you might close early on Friday, so we don't know, but as of now, we're planning to be there till 5.
Right.
Yeah.
But here again, a word to the wise, if you can know ahead of time and maybe even do it Friday morning rather than Friday afternoon, just in case.
Yeah, and just pick up the phone, give us a call. We'll let you know, and we
Yeah.
can go from there. So, and then we'll be back in the office again on Tuesday, and then through Friday again, and then closed obviously on January 1st and back out on the 2nd. So,
Well, I hope it's been a good year. You took over in June, I believe. June through December, been a good time.
it has been, and I just would like to thank all of our our listeners here, all of our contractors, our homeowners. It's been a transition, and like I always tell people, transitions can be hard, but I think we've kind of weathered the storm. And the first couple months there was probably some uphill going, but now we've kind of turned the corner, and we've got some exciting things in place for 2023.
Well, Dave, I got to say, the other day when Josh Etherly came here and started talking about, and I mean, his father is the one who owned it. He's still with you, but he was talking about the positive changes that have taken place, and I thought that was good, and that was very meaningful for him to say that. So you are doing even more things right.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. We've been all positive on our side. I mean, but change, like I said, there's always going to be its ups and downs, but overall it's been a very positive experience. And I think, our continued motto is to continue to build on our customer service. And that's what sets us apart, and making sure that we've got good equipment. So.
And you're right here all the time. You let Keith Ely come up and advise every once in a while.
Every once in a while he'll show up. Yeah, he is off the last 2 weeks of the year, so I won't see him till January 2nd probably. So,
Well, the place is alive and well under your direction, and you've always got a smile on your face, and I'll bet you got an even bigger one for your customers. So
I do. I enjoy meeting people, enjoy learning to know new people. There's a lot of people moving in the county, so come on down. Be happy to shake your hand, give you a calendar. So.
Okay, and right now you're going to be open till 5 p.m. this Friday.
Correct.
Closed Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Then
Correct.
back on Tuesday through Friday of the following week.
That is correct.
And then closed 3 more days
Yes.
through the 1st of January.
Yep.
Okay, so just keep that in mind. Keep the phone number in mind, 615-443-RENT, and of course the website, hercrentals.com.
Yes.
Thanks for being with us. Have a good one.
Thanks, Coleman.
All right. Okay. Again, Dave Hurst, Assistant Branch Manager for Herc Rentals, and I'm going to look the other way. And Mayor Rick Bell is with us this morning. And Rick, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
I want to know how long your meeting was last night. Was it a long one?
Not very long.
No.
Not very long.
Was Fred Anthony there?
He was. He was there.
Good.
Did you expect him not to be there?
We didn't see him at Susie's house last night.
Oh, okay. Well, that's now I know what you mean. So we finished up about 6:45, and before the meeting, of course, Fred was complaining about how cold it was, so he may have headed back to the house.
Well, it's always good to see you. Good to have you here. What did I guess that's what we want to talk about first. Any big things out of the meeting last night?
This time of year, our meetings are shorter because there's not much on the agenda. You know, holidays, things are slowing down. Not many people are asking for rezonings or annexations right now. Last night, the biggest thing that happened, I believe, was something that actually started here on your radio show. One day, Uncle Pete was here, and I was listening, and he said they were looking for a building to operate out of for all the veterans groups to be able to meet and get together. And so I called Uncle Pete and told him that I'd like to help him out. So we got together and started looking at properties around town that we own that they might be able to build a building on. But then we settled on the old fire hall at the corner of Hartman Drive and Madura Parkway. That's a building that's been empty for about a year now. The police were using it for a while. Fire is using it. Actually, the gas department owns it now. So last night, I put in front of the city council a resolution to allow me to go in negotiations with the veterans groups to lease that building, and so they'll be able to use it for their purposes. So that's something that started here and ended up in city council, and we're going to keep moving forward with it.
Well, last time Pete was out here, he alluded to this, but he wouldn't tell us anything. He didn't even tell me a thing off the air either.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Well,
I wondered.
It's something we've been working on, and Jeff Baines has been helping out with it too. And as I said, we've gone through a process. We looked at different properties, and this is one that they really looked at and thought that this would really be good for them. We went into it and took a tour just a few weeks ago with he and Bill Moss and a few others, and it needs work done to it, without a doubt. But we're going to work on it, and we're going to make sure they can get in there, and that's a good location. It's in the middle of town. They talked about they could put a sign up which lets people know they exist and who they are and what they're doing, and they really felt like that's something that's going to help them out a lot. And one of the things Uncle Pete has talked to me about is that they're having a harder time getting younger veterans involved. Right. They feel like this is an opportunity. Of course, they have the veterans building at the fairgrounds that they help pay for, but they don't get free use of that one like they want. So so this is one that's just for them.
Is this big enough?
It is. It is. When we went in that day, Uncle Pete and Bill both said that this was something that fit their needs, and they felt like it was big enough for them to be able to function out of. So I'm just honored to be able to help them. The city council last night, felt the same way. Uncle Pete and Bill both were there last night, and I appreciated everything they do and all the other leaders do for all the veterans groups, and obviously everyone who has served. And for us to be able to provide them something to be able to gather, that's the least we could do.
What hurdles remain, or are there any really big hurdles here to overcome?
There's not. One of the things I want to do is that several years ago, the gas department bought that building from the general fund, and I think they did it because the general fund needed money, to be honest. And so we're going to buy it back from the gas department. It's really a general fund building anyway, so we'll make sure that they get their funds out of it, and then once we do that, we'll start the process of getting a lease. The building needs to be updated some as far as there needs to be roof repairs, some things on the inside, but it's not as much work as you might think.
Well, that's going to cost somebody something.
It will. It will cost somebody something. Uncle Pete.
Well, where's the money?
Yes, yeah. So Uncle Pete has already talked to a roofer, Tim Leeper, who comes out here a lot, and from what he said, Tim is really working with them. The veterans, they do have a fund that they're going to use to help remodel the building, but we'll kick in some money too.
Well, after last night, I guess you voted on this, a positive vote by the council.
It was.
So it's pretty much, you can't say it's a done deal, but it's awfully close, it sounds to
It's
me.
close. Last night, the resolution that really, the city council gave me the ability to move forward and to come up with an arrangement. And then once we finish that, it'll come back to council, as far as any lease. And of course, that would, it's a lease where they will not pay much. It's just a lease. And so, the council will have to approve that as well. But there are a few steps out there, but it's really close.
Okay, well, that's really good news. And knowing Pete as I do, he comes out here almost once a month and has been begging, really begging for this.
Yeah.
As you know, you've listened, and this is really good news. This is rewarding to me.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that because it's something that's needed. It's something that the veterans group need, and as you said, Uncle Pete's talked about it a lot, and I'm just glad we're able to help.
Yeah. All right, Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell is here. It's time for us to take a break, which we'll do right here, Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And at 7:44, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford, get $50 off $250 repair offer to owners of 4 to 10-year-old Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury vehicles. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still moving right now as we check it out live. 65 down through Robertson County. A little bit heavy at 24 up past Bell Road coming in from Rutherford County up through the Hickory Hollow area. Working that wreck just outside of Clarksville in Montgomery County on 24 eastbound around the 8-mile marker. Looks like it's got traffic backed up pretty good. Princess Hot Chicken can help you with catering during the holiday season. Check them out at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The WANT and WCOR radio crew wants to thank each of you for listening, advertising, and being a guest on our talk show. We look forward to many more years of being Wilson County's own radio. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
When you needed portable heating, cooling, generators and remediation equipment, contractor tools, or any other equipment or solution to help you get the job done, you trusted Absolute Rental and Supply. Now that same team brings you more equipment and more solutions as Herc Rentals. From construction and industrial to HVAC and homeowner, Herc Rentals has the gear and expertise to get jobs done efficiently, effectively, and safely. Visit us today at 1325 Main Street in Lebanon or online at hercrentals.com. That's HERCrentals.com.
Hi, I'm Mayor Rick Bell.
And I'm Sarah Haston, your Economic Development Director for the City of Lebanon.
And we're asking each of you to shop Lebanon this Christmas season.
Are you ready for the hustle and bustle, Mayor?
Absolutely. 'Tis the season, and I'm ready to get everyone checked off my list by shopping Lebanon and shopping small.
Well, it's definitely important to support our Lebanon business community.
Indeed. Our Lebanon businesses are the backbone of our community, and they support us all year.
That's right. Let's show some local love at Christmas. We are asking everyone to commit to give back by shopping your local retailers here in Lebanon.
Have a Merry Christmas from all of us at the City of Lebanon.
Coleman and Company here on a Wednesday morning. Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell is with us. And okay, if you just turn your radio our way, just real quickly, last night City Council approved giving you the authority or whatever to negotiate for this old fire station at Hartman Drive and the bypass for the veterans to take over. So you're going to be working with Pete Norman and with
Bill Moss.
Bill Moss. Okay. Now that's enough on that. What else do we got to talk about?
Well, just one more thing. Last night we did offer a resolution for Johnny Payton, who passed away, and of course she meant so much to this community, and we were honored to be able to do that. For her. Last time I saw her, it was at the Civic League this summer. They have a summer camp, and I went up there to talk to the kids, and they showed me around to different classes, and she was teaching dance, she was teaching clogging, as everybody knows. So, it was really sad to hear about her, and that's going to leave a really big void in our community with her passing. So we were honored to pass that resolution.
Well, I think that, and I appreciate this, and I think a lot of people in the community would appreciate the recognition that has been given to her with her passing here, and the fact that she did mean so much to our community, to our children especially.
Yes, and and one thing that's good too is I was reading the resolution last night. She was honored so many ways during the years too. So this is not something that's just happening after her passing. This is something that's been happening for a long time.
Well, I remember when she was the roastee for the library roast a few years ago.
So as far as the council agenda, as I said, that those were really the two big items last night. But there are some things that have been happening here lately. One of the things that's really important, that just the other day we had the ribbon cutting for the new Publix on Highway 109, and they're open now. And when we cut that ribbon, there was a line of people waiting to get in and shop. That's a really nice store. If you haven't been there, go check it out. It's a new design for them. They just started this year, but it's going to be a real plus for the people who live in that part of town, but also for the city.
Well, they're going to attract a lot of customers from maybe the west, and that is in the city limits of Lebanon.
It is.
So we get the sales tax.
That is right.
I know where you're at.
And that's something that's really important.
Yeah.
When I was on council, first got on council back in 2016, that's something that was being talked about back then, about we need a grocery store on Highway 109. And I knew that Publix was down there looking around. And when I became mayor and got sworn in, my first day almost, I realized that it wasn't finalized yet. So my first 2 weeks, I sat down with Sarah Haston and Jeff Baines and a few others, and I said, we have to get this deal done because we need that. We need those sales tax dollars down there. Stuart Lawson, when he shows me the sales tax numbers every month, in the top 10, grocery stores right up at the top. And so adding a new grocery store is really big for us. And so those first 2 weeks, we sat down, we worked it out, put some things in front of council. We got that deal done. And it was really something to go down there, walk through the store, see the shelves full, cut the ribbon, and really be able to see that project from the ground up. Mm-hmm. And so that was, that's something that felt really good. But, not only is it for the people who live on the west side of Lebanon, but also, there's a lot of people who commute from Gallatin through there. So we're planning on getting some of their money too, and so it's a real boon for us. It's really important, but more than that, for the people who live in that part of town, it's a convenient place to shop, and we're glad to provide that for them.
Well, before some of them had to drive farther to Lebanon or to Mount Juliet.
Absolutely,
I suppose.
Absolutely, yeah. So, one of the things Mark was talking about here earlier was, with sales tax dollars in Mount Juliet, and one of the things that we know is that, we have some leakage. Some people on the west side go to Mount Juliet, and part of our plans for 109 is for Publix to be the start of more things coming there. So look, stop there and shop. Don't go further west. Stop right here. So that's something that's really important.
Okay, what else is on your list this morning?
A couple of things. We just announced, and I've talked about this before. We bought some land close to the square. We're going to put a parking lot down there to add more parking for that area. Obviously the square is booming right now. People are investing in businesses. There's almost a new business every week starting down there, and parking has been an issue, and it's continuing to be. So, some property at the southeast corner of the square came up. The Witt family owned that. It became available, so we were able to jump on that, and our engineers are already starting to the process of designing something. There's a big billboard there, and actually yesterday I talked to the company that owns that about taking that down. So that'll give us some more possibilities there as well.
Well, are they favorable? Are they wanting to put one somewhere else to make up for this? Is it straight out? Or?
Well, yesterday was the first conversation, but it was positive. I think they realized that they don't have many options. So yeah, I think that's going to go as planned.
Yeah.
And also the other day, I was able to go to the McDonald's grand opening down on the west side of town in the Kroger area. They spent a lot of money on that location. I met the owner, and he owns all the McDonald's in Lebanon. We have 3, and he showed me back behind the scenes, and we had a great day there. They had a lot of kids, a lot of activities. All their characters were there, and he told me something that I didn't really realize. McDonald's has been in Lebanon for 47 years. The one on 231 was built 47 years ago, and the location that we were at has been here for 30-something years.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't realize that either. Yeah. So that was pretty interesting to be able to go in there and learn how they operate and how they function. So that was a big deal for us. And then also last night, too, I should mention this. I had Brian Fountain, who works for the fire department, tell the council about the fire department toy drive they have every Christmas. And he told me something I didn't realize. That's been going on they believe, since the 1950s. That our fire department has been getting toys for kids for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I think that's really something that's awesome. That's started a long time ago and it continues. And then,
well, it's changed some over the years.
Yeah.
And it used to be, I mean, I heard about it. I hadn't seen it firsthand, but I remember back in the 50s when this was going on, and they would take some maybe that were broken or
That's
whatever,
what he said,
and
yeah.
repair them. Of course, they don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So it has changed some. But yeah, well, back then, firemen didn't, they only went to fires and they had more downtime, more time.
Yeah,
to
they're
do that.
busier
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
But yeah, he said they repaired toys back in those days. They have pictures and they've done some research on that. And but now it's collecting toys, and they collect a lot. He said last night they were able to provide toys for over 2,000 kids here in Wilson County. And then Alex Major at the Jimmy Floyd Center, he started a new tradition this year. They had a big Christmas event this past Saturday that I got to go to and enjoy, and there were kids everywhere in the Jimmy Floyd Center, and they were all having a good time. So I appreciate him starting a new tradition.
Well, a new director, some new blood, some new ideas, and
Yeah.
I think he's full of them, really.
He really is. He was in my office yesterday with a different idea. So he has all kinds of ideas, and he's doing a great job over there. But with those two events, though, as we know, this is the Christmas time of year. So I want to, before we run out of time, I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I know there's going to be a lot of traveling out there. There's going to be a lot of people coming to Lebanon, a lot of people going to other places. And so I just want everyone to be safe out there, enjoy yourselves, visiting family and friends. And, and remember, which I know everyone does, this season, it's hustle and bustle. There's a lot of running around, but this is really about, celebrating the birth of Jesus. And I know when everybody gets settled down and we sit down and really reflect, that's what it's about. So
I don't be negative here, but the forecast doesn't look very favorable for Friday. You got any contingency plans?
We do. Of course, Lee Clark with the Street Department, they're ready in case there's any precipitation issues out there. We're actually closed Friday as a city. So as far as getting people into the office, that's something that we're already off. And also, we've been talking with sanitation about, it's going to be awfully cold Friday at least, and Friday is a pickup day for them. So if things get bad, we may move that Friday pickup day to Monday. So we haven't made that decision yet, but for the folks out there who get picked up on Friday, that may shift to Monday. But again, we'll make announcements. We'll try to get word out and make sure everybody knows.
Okay. I've got something I want to ask you, but
Okay.
I don't want to interrupt.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, we're talking about it's amazing. It seems that over the years, the square, it's either boom or bust. There's been
It does
times
seem
when
that way.
you had a lot of empty buildings, and now there's people, and you cannot. It's hard to find a parking spot.
It is.
Where I'm headed with this, and the old Commerce Union Bank building over there. I'm not even sure who owns that. There's quite a bit of parking back there.
It
Is
is.
there any way that could become open for the party? Something you working on, maybe?
Well, actually, it's been purchased just recently. Some new people bought it, and they're planning on doing some very interesting things with that building that I think are really going to it's going to kick the score up another notch, I believe. If those plans go into effect, we've been talking to them about that, and we have been talking about different things with the parking lot. But I will say this: I came by this morning as I was driving here. I came down Main Street, and Tim Edwards Feed had some of his equipment parked back there in the back of that parking lot. Historically, his customers had parked on the side of the street. Well, now that is available to them to park in that parking lot. So I believe the new owners are open to having that parking lot available. And it may not necessarily be something that we as a city are part of. They're just taking the chain down, allowing people to park there. So it's something that is there. Tim, I know, is using it. When we had our 'Tis the Season Christmas event on the square, it was open for people to park in. So I think the new owners are, they don't mind people parking there,
Okay.
as I might say. But it may not be an all the time thing. But I know for our special event, it was open. For Tim, he's able to use it. So it may be something that, as we go through the future, is available to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I've even thought of having one of these high-rise, several floors of parking.
Well, and that's a great idea. In fact, that I have talked to one property owner near the square who is talking about that. And the thing that's tough for us is that all the land around the square is owned by somebody else, not us. And so that's why when this property on the southeast corner came available, I wanted to jump on it because I wanted us to have it and be able to use it. But there is the parking lot behind the old bank building that may become more available in the future. One property owner I've talked to is talking about a parking garage, and as you said, I mean, the square is booming. I can remember when I was in high school, and we would cruise the main. Basically, all that's happening on the square was people were sitting in the middle of it drinking beer, and so to see what it is now. Yeah. Yesterday I went down to do a little Christmas shopping and to walk around the square and see people down there in all those shops and restaurants. It's just amazing. And we're so thrilled that people have invested there and put businesses there. And we're really thrilled that people are going there to visit those places. But it's something we deal with all the time.
Seemed like once the town social started going, everything started booming.
It did. That was a big difference.
We're out of time. Thanks for being with us. Have a good one. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
That is it for a Wednesday. Join us tomorrow. Till then, I wish you a wonderful day.